In the interest of building all members' business skills, a different member each week is charged with presenting on a topic of their choosing for a 3-minute business growth section. This week we have the wonderful Neville Starick as our educational snippet person today, and I know that he knew that because he's sitting in my top left-hand corner. Of course he knows that. Oh, good. Not everybody realises.
I read the emails.
Yeah, I was going to say, now I'm pretty sure that we discussed this, so I think I've got someone who knows in advance. Go, Neville.
Yeah, hi, this is Neville Starick here from Cynosure Counselling and Coaching, and we all know that first impressions are really, really, really important for connecting with our clients or potential clients. But have you thought about what your last impression is? That end of a conversation with a client, that finishing up with a service that you provided, that ending of a transaction. How does that go with your clients? So what we're actually aiming for with that last impression is to encourage our clients to either continue working with us or to refer other people to us. So how we finish is what they go away with. So think about, how do you finish? Do you finish off with it on a positive note? Do you give them opportunities to stay connected? Do you there's just a whole bunch of things that can be done depending upon what your type of business is, that leave a positive impression, that encourages people to continue to have some kind of interaction with you and your business. So what's the last impression that you want to create? I want to leave you to think about that. This is Neville Starick from Cynosure Counselling and Coaching.
I love that. I love that. 11 years. Somebody's done it again. And in 11 years, I've never had anyone bring up, what's the last impression that you leave? Because, yeah, you're right. We all do a first impression, but what's the last impression? Oh, God, I love that so much. My brain is there going, now, think of all those seminars that you've been to, right? Where you've gone, oh, my God, I can't wait to get this information. I wonder what they're going to sell me at the end. And then they finally get around to that. And because you were here today and I'm going to do it this massive discount, and you know that their last impression is they're never going to follow me up on any of this. Like, they're not going to check on me. I mean, I even spent money on their thing and they're still not going to ring in to see if I'm doing okay and if I'm doing anything with it. They don't care. They're just trying to get me now, and then that's it. And you realize that after the fact. When you bought something, you thought, okay, bought it earlier than I needed to, and nobody's catching up with it. And then you realize then they were just there to sell something and they weren't there to look after me afterwards.
And it's interesting that the last impression doesn't have to be expensive. It can just be about making connections and giving opportunities. I know when I finish working with a client, we have a discussion about what it is that they have accomplished in the time that we've worked together, and then what their next steps are, and leaving the door open for them to come back if they wish to do that. So that I let them know. Let them know that they have that option. It's like, just because you've decided you want to finish now doesn't mean that, hey, we're done and we'll never see each other again. But you can come back if you want to.
Yeah, absolutely. Funny, I've been teaching that in sales classes recently, is when someone says, no, I don't think that I want it. Just have your answer be, no problems.
Yep.
Because you're not going anywhere and it's not like you can't find them again. So you can ask a question later on. Okay, so how are you going with that thing? Stuart, we're going to end up a whole discussion on this, but we're not. But Stuart.
I'm going to be merely 15 seconds. They're all brilliant. And it's all about retention, client retention. That sounds like, I don't know, like an illness. But it's something that is really, really important. The other opportunity is, who says no? What do you do if they say no? And I know that's a whole topic, Misty, as well. I just thought I'd leave that there.
Yeah. But that's the last impressions. Like it. All right, better get you, Dr. Chris, and then we're going to keep going forward.
Thanks, Neil. That was great. And I'm so used to talking about first impressions in the work that I do, and quoting Marabin's figures: 55% body language and 38% tone of voice and 7% words. We very rarely give pre-thought to the last impression. So that was fantastic. Thank you so much. That was very valuable. Thank you.
I have not read a single sales book that's discussed the last impression ever. And I've read a lot of sales books. So and a lot of all sorts of books, but I've never had one discuss the last impression. And yes, it's, that lasting impression is just a very good point. We all think it comes from that first impression, not necessarily. But you know, it's interesting. Oh God, I'm on a roll now. You know, it's interesting. It's I've been to networking events, right? And I mean, the golden rule of networking events is this: when you go face to face, don't hand your business card out to everyone. Don't offer your business card unless someone offers it to you first. Don't talk about yourself too much. Stand there and listen. Let others talk about themselves. Right. So I've gone to networking events. I've done that, by the way. You stand around staring at people. Nobody offers a business card because everybody's following that rule. I can't give mine because nobody offered me theirs first. You know, and then everybody stands around staring at each other, waiting for someone to talk. So I've gone in to be completely the opposite and gone, I'm going to be a nightmare. I am going to tell everyone everything that I do. I'm going to hand my business card out. I'm going to hassle people. I'm going to be a downright pain in the ass. But what I'm going to do is when I collect all of those cards, and like I'm going to annoy everyone, and then I'm going to leave. I'm going to break every relationship that I have in that room right now, and then I leave. I go out to my car. I pick up my magic weapon here. It's called a Bluetooth keyboard. I pick up my phone. I pick up my handful of business cards. And then I write to every person and say, hey, it was really great to meet you tonight. And then I'll ask a question like, how many cards did you end up with? And someone will write back and say, and people will write back and go, oh my God, did you meet that crazy lady as well? I was so frightened. I got 7. And I'll write back and say, I was that crazy lady. 7 is a great amount. Here's what they write back to me. Thank you so much for writing to me. You were the only person who's connected with me after the meeting. And I write, yes, I know. So my last impression outweighs my first impression 100% every time. So even if you muck it up at the beginning, you can fix it at the end.
So you actually work very much on that last impression, even though you've never thought about it like that.
Yeah, 100%. It's all about I don't worry about the first impression. I know I'm mucking that one up. Hell, I've turned up to the Hyatt for a really flashy networking event, forgot to take my shoes and had to go in a beautiful suit and pink fluffy slippers because it was that or not go in. And I've just gone.
And you're not going to not go in. No.
And I had a red shirt on. Stuart, it didn't match. I had a red shirt on. I had pink, fluorescent pink slippers. I know.
You should have busted out the crown.
I didn't have that at the time. Didn't know about the crown at the time. So yeah, but I fixed it at the end. I fixed the impression at the end. I know you've got your hand up. All right, get that done and then fast elevator pitches, guys.
One quick thing, I'm going to be talking about what to do with that stack of cards this afternoon at Be Connected World because there's ways of doing it. You've just inspired me.
End impression. Nice little segue there, Stuart. All right, well done you.